Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video we're going to be reacting to a video by someone called Jackie Coy. I hope that's how you pronounce his name. But Jackie did a video of 1 year of self-teaching himself the piano, so let's get straight into it.
I never thought I'd be making a video about this, but today I wanted to share with you my piano progress after playing for 1 year. So if you want to play the piano and want to know how far 1 year can get you, you are definitely in the right place.
Nice plugs. So the interesting thing here already at day one is that he's decided to go down the pop song route, which is not a problem. But when you are very first starting to self-teach yourself the piano, I would always recommend starting by learning how to note read and do rhythm first, rather than jumping straight into the songs that you want to learn, especially on day one. Maybe by the end of week one, I would head into songs like this, because you could probably find some simple music that will help you do that. Day two, pretty good. I like the way he corrected himself when he made a mistake. What I would have done is gone over that several times in the left hand just to make sure it's absolutely solid. But I'm just being nitpicky, so ignore me. So you can see here that his right hand is actually having to work extra hard. It feels to me like there's a little bit of tension in that right hand, and his fourth and fifth fingers, which are always the weaker fingers, are having to work a little bit extra. So I would definitely recommend doing some kind of exercises in the third, fourth and fifth fingers, just to try and keep your wrist really loose, especially if you're trying to play something like this that requires that extra lyricalness. There are loads of exercises that will help this kind of playing, and you don't want to feel like you're trying to force your fingers to play the right notes all the time. You want to feel relaxed and like you can enjoy the sound of the music. Yeah, not bad. It seems to be a little bit more relaxed there, some rhythmic errors, but that's okay, that was good. I think his playing has actually improved quite a lot in the short space of time, especially being self-taught and just playing what seems to be kind of like songs that he likes playing. I think he's actually done a pretty good job considering he's self-taught. There's a lot of self-taught pianists that end up in a much worse way and then require a teacher to correct a lot of issues. Yeah, so at 12 months, once again, he's actually very naturally musical, it seems, but he's still got that kind of tension problem between the fourth and fifth fingers in the right hand, where when he's playing the little finger, the hand kind of is going like that, because he's having to work really hard to play that. What I would always recommend doing is getting your wrist to support whichever finger you're playing at the time, because especially with these weaker fingers, your wrist is going to do most of the work. Your finger doesn't want to be working over hard trying to do this in order to play the notes.
For those of you who are asking how I learnt the piano, I'm actually self-taught, so I didn't have a teacher. So I did most of my learning through YouTube, so watching YouTube tutorials on people who were giving online lessons and people who were just walking you through different songs. And over time, I eventually learned how to play by ear.
So I obviously don't disagree with this, as I am one of these people who is online telling you how to play the piano. However, I do think there is a danger in copying people or watching these videos where, you know, obviously the notes you'll know what I mean, the strips that come down and play the keys, because what you're going to end up doing is only being able to play that song, and only by doing it via watching someone play. As he said, he went on to learn by ear, and I think that's actually a very good way of learning, because when you're learning by ear, you can take any song and you can apply it to certain practices that you'll do on the piano. So for example, you might have certain go-to patterns that you use on the piano, and you can apply this to anything that you listen to, and you develop your own style of playing. So that's actually a really good way, other than reading, to learn the piano.
And I normally just search up the chords and then I just improvise. I'll be right back, my food has just arrived. Check this out.
So obviously I wouldn't eat like that. No, I'm joking.
2,000 years later.
Although I can play pretty much any song that I want, there are obviously a lot of mistakes to it. So a lot of the times the timing is not right, or sometimes I'm using the wrong chord, and that is because I'm improvising. So I'm just doing what I think feels right, or what feels right to me. For me, I really enjoy playing the piano, but at the same time I really hate musical theory. So that's why I don't know any of that stuff, and most of my learning methods are actually pretty visual. So I look at how other people play and then I try to copy them.
So music theory, you can't hate music theory. I love music theory, but I think what he's saying is he understands chords and things, which is music theory. I think there's a big stigma against music theory and understanding certain parts of it, and it's tied into like really deep Bach, having to learn classical music type learning, and it's not often that. A lot of the time you can learn music theory just by learning a few scales, learning a few chords, and understanding some good practices that happen in music. So I don't think he should shy away from music theory, because if he's learning by ear, music theory will be the best way to approach working out how that knowledge applies to other songs.
And most of the other times like I said, I just improvise and I play what feels right. Obviously my learning approach is more geared towards people who want to play the piano casually. If you want to become a professional, obviously it doesn't make sense to learn it by yourself, and you would be getting actual lessons from someone who knows what they're doing. For me, I never intended to be a professional. I just wanted to physically know how to play the piano. So learning it online was very cost effective, and by cost effective I mean it's pretty much free, and it just takes a little bit more time than normal, but for me it was well worth it.
So obviously he's right, if you want a piano teacher then you have to pay a piano teacher, so it is not free. But I think even if you are self-taught, just getting some guidance once every couple of months or something is probably better, because you'll find that actually a lot of piano teachers will try and help you with whatever you want to learn. It's not always about going on some syllabus and doing grades and wanting to become a professional pianist. Most pianists are casual players. Not everyone turns out to be a professional pianist. So I think there's a lot of advantages to having a teacher, even if you are playing casually.
And now I'm pretty happy with my progress. So feel free to comment down below your piano learning journey, and I will reply to every single comment like always.
So will I. Yeah, so he's obviously naturally very musical. Like, he feels the sense of rhythm and pulse, and he feels how the music should be shaped, which is great. I would definitely advise going down the music theory route, although he may disagree with me. If you are a casual player and you're just wanting to know how to play some songs on the piano and just for yourself and for no one else, it's kind of really advantageous being able to work things out just by knowing some bits about music theory, understanding how songs are made, understanding what structure you might see, understanding what chords and patterns you might see on the piano, because this will help you come up with your own interpretation of songs, and it'll help you be able to learn by ear or by reading at your own pace by being self-taught. So there's no fear in learning some music theory. But I hope you found this video useful. If you have, then make sure you hit the like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.